All right, what is up, YouTube? We're back again. Now I have a full total of 5 positions that I am in. So far, Square has definitely hit all-time highs so far, and we're definitely going to get into that. So let's go ahead and break it down. We're going to get into the portfolio as well. So, so let's check it out. We're definitely going to break down my position so far. This is definitely my simulated trading account, but my account, my personal account is definitely different. It's definitely different. So we're going to go straight into AMD. Like I said, we're bullish on that because it's been hit for a while and it's definitely due for a bounce. We did see it run back up to 1060 and fall back down to to levels right now. So this is a 20-minute delay. So just in case people are wondering, why the prices aren't ticking in real time, because this is a 20-minute delay. So APC definitely got hit hard, and as we see on the chart, buyers are definitely out of the area. And typically for something that gives missed sales and missed revenue, we definitely want to wait 3 days before we actually jump into it and feel confident about buying the stock. So Athena Health, this right here gave weak estimates. It missed everything, and also it gave weak guidance. So we definitely want to back away from stocks like that. We want to wait, a certain time period, but this is definitely a long-term stock because it definitely recovers if you look at the long-term trend. So you see Berkshire Hathaway, like I said, long-term, this stock is worth at least $200, and then after 200, we definitely go higher than that. And I'm not sure when exactly he's going to split shares again, but this is definitely how to diversify yourself in the market without having, taking that individual stock risk. So Chesapeake, like I said, we're still bullish on oil. Oil definitely has an RSI, has an RSI about 0. It's definitely crazy. So Home Depot, like I said, long term, we think about things that are going to grow our accounts. Home Depot is actually a long term stock. It's a growth name. We want to pay attention to growth names, and we also want to have those names that pay dividends as well. But we want to focus on growth because, remember, we want to meet financial goals, or we want to just invest for the long term, so that way we have something in the future to take out just in case we want money. HIPH. This is definitely a penny stock. We want to see exactly what's going to happen if we invest in penny stocks such as this one. That's a 000 play, and as you see here, it's at 0001. We bought shares about 0002, and as you see here, this has been a long hold for just about a month. And as we see here, the play has not moved yet. So we have Honeywell here. This is definitely a long-term pick. I'm definitely bullish on the name, but I'm waiting for something to happen. So I'm waiting for a pullback in shares so I can actually get some, because I do value this company at $150 or $180 next year. So we look at Lululemon, like I said, the market is, kind of rocky here and there. Like I said, 54, we go to 60. O'Reilly Auto Parts, we see here, it's definitely trying to recover here. We looked at the long-term trend here. O'Reilly Auto Parts is definitely trying to recover. And as you see from the chart, when it does take these huge dips, it definitely does make a speedy recovery. PLX is definitely a penny stock. We want to see exactly what's going to happen when we invest in penny stocks, because a lot of people, they buy penny stocks hoping that, they're going to run up over time, or they think that if you hold it for about a couple years from here, you're definitely going to be a rich person. But we want to pay attention to, we want to get you guys out of that mindset of investing in penny stocks. We want to just trade them, from here. Now, we definitely want, we don't want to hold them for more than 30 minutes. Starbucks, definitely a growth play. I have this in my long-term portfolio. I value the shares at $90. I remember last time they split shares at $90, and the split was about 45. It was a 2-for-1 split, excuse me. SPU, like I said, penny stock. TQQQ, this is the Nasdaq, so you get 3 times return. So this is definitely some leverage added on. As we see UWT, we're still bullish on oil, and as we see the the RSI on oil is definitely left the chart. So like I said, I still value oil at $60, at the end of the year, and I'm really waiting on a specific price point to get in for for my personal account, because we see that oil is definitely getting pretty rocky here, and that you really can't predict the bottom since we have broken out of this this support level here. But we see RSI is definitely showing us that it's definitely oversold by far, and the bottom is somewhere around here. But as we see, we pierce through support with a large bar. Like I said, we pierce through support, pierce through resistance with large bars are gapping up or gapping down. Now let's check out Square. This is one of my long-term picks. I remember I had shares at IPO price at about $10, and I sold it later on. But now I'm definitely back in the name. I'm feeling pretty bullish about it. Remember, I put my resistance line up here because I did say it's going to break past $20, on good results. So we see, we break through resistance here, right here, with a large bar piercing through resistance. And we have to pay attention to all, the stocks that hit all-time highs or are beginning to hit all-time highs. So this is definitely, a name that I'm, bullish on. I added more at 19. So right now I'm definitely just chilling out on the position. I don't want to add, any more right now. So, I'm definitely just holding it for right now, seeing exactly what's going to happen next week, if we're going to get a Macron victory or a Le Pen victory. So let's get back to it. We see O'Reilly Auto Parts, like I said. O'Reilly Auto Parts is definitely bouncing up. We see the RSI of about 38. So it lets us know that, buyers are stepping in the area, but I'm still not comfortable with, with the price yet. So we want to sell at about, I would say, 250 and definitely be comfortable with selling the stock price. So let's look at prices of gold. Gold has been breaking down for a while now. This is exactly why I got in, the stock. I know, I got it. Maybe I got it a little bit too early here, but we see that, the trend has definitely been broken here. The uptrend that I was plotting for you guys, has definitely been violated with a large bar piercing through support. And we might just probably, retest these lows right here. We see support at around right here. We see me plot live support right around here. And if not, we might go back to, these levels right here. But support is definitely holding up pretty good right here. We see RSI of about 33. So it lets us know that the sellers are definitely dumping gold left and right because they feel, something, I'll say there's something in the numbers. I really didn't pay attention to it in the morning, but there's definitely something in the numbers that made people want to sell gold. But, we definitely want to buy gold for long term, just in case, just to add some, I would say some safety in your portfolio. So just in case the market were to go down, we want to be, have some kind of exposure to gold. And if not, gold has definitely been taking, hits left and right. So gold is poised for, an uptrend, sometime soon. Let's go back to, let's check out UW. Definitely, we see the sellers are still way in charge. We're hitting, all-time lows right about here. And, the stock just keeps getting hit left and right. But I really do value oil at $60 at the end of the year. That is definitely going to be my price target. You can hold me to it. Another position I have, like I said, chemical cores is definitely my position. I'm not too sure why this stock is not moving up to the upside or, what's really going on here. But it's definitely irritating because, they beat sales. They raised outlook for the year. And the only thing I'm thinking that could have happened is that, the sales were less than last year because there is no official news on exactly what, what's going on with this company. Because, this is the only recent news that I do have. I've checked Yahoo Finance. I've checked, everything that I have. And we see, we're bouncing up from this support level. We see about a really good bounce from the support level last time. But we see that, the levels of the RSI shows about 38.58. So, if we break to the 38.58 level, this is the time for me to go ahead and get out of the position and wait and, wait until we can get some bidders to come back in for the stock because I don't want to hold it when we break through the daily moving average because it does let us know that we're violating the daily moving average. So it lets us know that the sellers are in charge for the stock. So I definitely don't want to be long a name and put pressure on my account because, like I said, Square is definitely running up for me right now, definitely getting all-time highs as we speak right now. I definitely don't want to be in the way of, bringing down my profits because I want to, hold a name that's definitely going lower. So I might cut exposure to the name, but I definitely want to, be able to enjoy my profits here. So we see Honeywell. Honeywell is definitely a name that I'm still waiting for to come down. We see right here, buyers are coming back into the stock. So we see that, the name is heavily overbought. RSI, the daily moving average is about 28.19. So I'm pretty sure whatever happens, Honeywell should fall pretty soon. I'm really not sure when, but I would say soon because, the stock is definitely not going any further right here. We see a bid for 135. Definitely got rejected in the morning. And right now, it's definitely just trading at this level right here, keeping that 130 support, which is kind of irritating for me. So I want to see, some move to the downside because buyers are still in the stock heavily. And as we see, there's been an increase in activity right up in here after after they beat the earnings. There was an increase in activity, so people have just been buying this left and right, on news. So let's take a look at some of the gainers here. GDX was one that GDX is one name that I'm definitely in. We see about 21.14 was definitely the low for this stock, and whenever I saw those levels from right here, let's see, yeah, 21.14 was definitely the low for the stock. So whenever I see levels such as that, I want to be in the stock. Now I'm looking at the contract as well, so I see the contract still has some room to go down before we become oversold. But I definitely want to be exposed in gold just in case something were to happen. So we definitely want to have that security risk just in case. So like I said, we have the bottom right here, 21.14. I know I say don't pay attention to I would say the ETF rather than the contract, but this time I wanted to pay attention to the ETF because the ETF definitely moves. I would say slightly different from the contract. If we're being technical about it, but it definitely moves slightly different from the contract. So we see GDX. We see this is down about 1.2%. We see this is down about 1.4%. So you see the contract definitely has some or I would say a little bit more downside to it. But at the same time, we see the RSI is definitely trying to pick back up here. The morning, the RSI is about 33. But, long-term view, gold is definitely trying to bounce back up. We see, it's hitting, it has small dips, and on those small dips, it tries to rise back up. But I don't think we're going to keep breaking through these support levels, every single time the market does run up. So gold will definitely have to have a day where, the downside is, is cooling off and we're going right back up. So 250 will probably be a handle I would have to see gold hold before we can actually start to be bullish on it, because right now 237 or anytime you break past that $50 handle, that definitely leaves you exposed to go down to the downside. So if we broke 1250, I would say 1200 would be the next step. But as we see right here, buyers are definitely stepping into this stock. And then also as we see right here, we see a large bar piercing support, but not to mention we had support levels right here, 1225 from recent support levels right here, yeah, 1225. As we see, the stock is definitely bouncing about $7 from support. I'm not sure if that's going to hold, but it would be really good to take profit at any time, any point in time. You feel like the stock is definitely going to fall. You definitely want to take profit. You don't want to be caught up in just buying stocks randomly. Let's see here. So my personal account, I have a position in Square. I have positions in GDX. I have positions in XLF, and I have positions in Chemical Coors, and I have a position in Starbucks. So those are all my 5 positions that I do have open currently, and I'm really bullish on all the names, especially the banks. We see what happened with the banks. You see a small dip in the banks. That really didn't matter, but I really want to get bullish on the banks. I would say Square, I'm up about 6% on the position, about 8% up today. So we want to have goals to beat for a different type of stock. So I know people might say, okay, we might want to do 2% a day, or we might want to do 3% a day. If you want to say, okay, let's average about 10% each position. After we get to 10%, let's cut our gain, or let's cut our profits, and let's go to something else, or wait for the stock to fall back down and reload once again. That's one way to look at it. We see Facebook definitely reported earnings, and we see the stock hitting lows about 145. And after Facebook hit 145, the stock bounced back up, and now you couldn't even get Facebook stock at about less than, I would say, 140, 148 or 149. So the stock price is definitely coming down here. We see like I said, we see a crowded trade right here. 153 was the all-time high. We're coming down off of that all-time high. It looks like we should pierce daily moving average, but after hours we did pierce daily moving average, for a little bit, and the stock did bounce back up. But for the opens, we're not close to that yet. But it should act as some kind of support. But I really think 140 would have to be the price level for me to actually feel bullish on buying Facebook, because it is a crowded trade, and I really don't feel like buying Facebook at so close to all-time highs. That's completely crazy. So we see Apple here. Apple is definitely a really crowded trade here. Nobody wants to sell. Nobody wants to get out of Apple. We see it missed. It missed. I would say Apple missed everything. Just about the only positive thing was about the services, and people were looking for the services to turn pretty good, and we seen services go pretty good, but pretty much people were giving it a pass because they're waiting on the iPhone 8. The XLK is definitely getting crowded trade as well, because like I said, people are buying instead of buying Facebook, Apple, other technology companies. We're just buying the ETF, and that gives us, I would say, that eliminates the single risk stock exposure for us, and that is definitely a positive if you can actually do that. So we see Tesla. Tesla definitely falling pretty hard here. The support right here for Tesla will have to hit will be 1289. We're about a couple dollars away from hitting 1289. So we'll see what happens when Tesla does hit 1289. Will it hold, or will it fall back down? So like I said, we want to pay attention to price movement, price action, price patterns, historical patterns, RSI, daily moving average. We have a chart and oscillator here, and also my other, my personal account, I do have extra indicators to also let me know when is the exact time to buy stocks and when is the exact time to sell stocks. Remember, we don't want to be caught up in names, that you're feeling really good, and all of a sudden you're in the stock and the stock is falling. And you say, okay, it's a positive name. Let me just ride out the wave here and just take the hit here. We don't want to do that. We don't want to take any hits when the stock becomes overbought. That should be our signal to go ahead and probably reduce risk, because that stock will have to get checked back down, to regular levels, and you can probably refill about there. But we don't want to take any losses when we do invest in stocks. I know you see right here, Apple is just about up, just about every single day, and as you see, Apple has gotten stagnant. 150 is definitely the hardest part for Apple to break through here. So we see resistance hitting at 150, or close resistance hitting at 150. Now we definitely have to break through here, but people are not feeling confident about Apple breaking through that 150 because it moves with the market. And if we get a market sell-off, Apple, Facebook, Netflix, all those stocks will definitely get hit hard. I think they might get hit the hardest because they have been a crowded trade, and that's what everybody's been playing instead of playing other stocks. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I have for you guys. Pay attention to the oil, gas contracts. We see gas definitely coming down here just a little bit, and we see oil definitely selling off by far, and we have to pay attention to that because we see the RSI is definitely not even on the chart here. RSI below 26, so it lets us know that the bounce is coming soon, but we just don't know when exactly it's coming. So we see APC, definitely not a low-cost producer. This will be the handle to break. 5238 will be the handle to break to the upside, and this is definitely my low-cost boost. Like I said, we see right here, buyers are definitely trying to step into the area. This will be a pretty good price point for anybody to buy the stock. If you're thinking about buying the stock, this is definitely a good price point because oil is definitely setting up to bounce. Gas is definitely setting up to bounce. So we want to pay attention to those contracts that it definitely moves off of. So we see oil is definitely having a down day, gas is having a down day, and Anadarko Petroleum is having a down day. So with that being said, pay attention to patterns and always do your homework and research. Oh, I forgot to mention. There's a triple leverage, or I would say quadruple leverage ETF that they're going to have that gives the return of the S&P 4 times, and let's see, XPXL I think is the one. Okay, XPXL is it gave you the S&P return 3 times. Now imagine if you have 4 times. That'll be super crazy because now they're thinking about actually, or the SEC has approved for the S&P to have an ETF that gives you quadruple leverage. A lot of people on the stock market, or not a lot of people, or a lot of analysts on the stock or the business news would say this is definitely dangerous. But if you look at the S&P on a long-term perspective, we know the S&P goes up over time. So if we can have quadruple leverage of going up over time, this is definitely crazy because we see right here, 18 is the lowest point. If we just go right here at, let's say, people buying right here at $22, we have seen a pretty good return right here. We're looking to double our money, by the end of next year, or maybe even next year. So we want to pay attention to those opportunities that do pop up. So whenever those leverage ETFs pop up, we're definitely going to take a look at them, and I'm definitely going to be buying shares for a long-term perspective. But we have to wait until the S&P actually sells off. And this will be a good indicator of when the sell-off should happen, because like I said, all these leverage ETFs move the same. And if you want to be technical with it, we can just watch the SPY, the SPY, and this will definitely give a good indicator of when the S&P becomes oversold. So the ticker symbols for the quadruple leverage, will be up, and these will be the ones that that gives the 4 times return on the S&P going up. And down will give you the 4 times return of the S&P going down. Now this will be really good for day traders, but also this will be probably good for investors as well, because when you get that 4 times return, over time, holding this thing for a year or so, you're definitely doing pretty good. You're beating the market by 4 times the percent. A lot of money managers definitely cannot do that. So like I said, read, research. That's all I have for you guys.